On Prigozhin's status, does the U.S. have any assessment on whether his safety was ensured as part of this deal, or is there a belief that his life could be in jeopardy?
We don't know the parameters of this deal. We weren't a party to it. I'd point you to the parties to it to speak to the details of it. We just don't have visibility on that.
And then just in terms of the war itself, do you have an assessment of just how much, to what extent the Wagner's forces have been diluted in Ukraine and what that might mean for the Ukrainian troops?
Diluted with a D or diluted with a T?
The T. Just in terms of the size of the force in Ukraine now, as opposed to last.
Oh, it means siphoned off.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah, it's unclear right now where the bulk of the Wagner forces are. I mean, we've seen some reporting, mostly through press and social media, that many of them moved back across into Ukraine. But we're not in a position to verify or validate those reports. So it's really unclear where they all are and where they all might go or what they might do in terms of the future. It's undisputed, of course, that Wagner played a role, particularly in the fight for Bakhmut. They were reinforced by Russian military forces, and that had a major factor on their ability to take that town. But as I have said many, many times, I mean, Wagner's approach here was just to throw bodies at the fight, largely ill-trained, ill-equipped, and poorly led, but just body after body after body, and they suffered a lot, tens of thousands of casualties just taking Bakhmut, all for a town which I've also said didn't have any strategic value to the Russians one way or another.
Nadia. Thank you. Can you confirm that Mr. Prigozhin is in Belarus
No.
as Senator Warner seems to indicate?
I cannot.
Okay. Can you give us your assessment of the group? Can it survive without him, or do you think that he was a central figure, that he was able to control all its operation, whether it's in Ukraine or in Africa?
I think I'd give you the same answer I gave Amr. It's just too soon to know what the future of Wagner is going to be. We're going to stay focused on the group. Of course, we have to. They do operate outside of Ukraine, and we have levied lots of sanctions against them, and we'll continue to hold them accountable as appropriate.